None of these niggas, Lil Baby, none of them are on any type of level of NBA Youngboy. I'm sorry.
New footage of NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk has set the internet on fire. A clip so explosive it's got fans, rivals, and even insiders scrambling for answers. What really happened behind that viral moment, and why does it feel bigger than just a video? There's more to this story, and today I'll share all the details. Viral chaos.
Yeah. Doing this album promo, which I ain't even really promo yet. What type of promo did I say his name or get from him?
It happened just hours ago. New footage of NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk has exploded across the internet like gasoline on a campfire. The clip, barely 30 seconds long, sent shockwaves through hip-hop Twitter, igniting the already tense fault lines between two of rap's most infamous rivals. In the video, Youngboy appears unbothered, surrounded by his crew, flashing the kind of grin that says, "I told y'all I run this." Meanwhile, another angle allegedly catches Durk's associates lurking nearby, tension thick enough to cut with a diamond-encrusted chain. Within minutes, fans were dissecting every frame, every gesture, every half-smile like it was the Zapruder film of the streets. It's not just footage, it's a statement. It's a reminder that in the brutal chessboard of modern hip-hop, nothing happens by accident. This wasn't some random viral moment. This was strategic chaos. The timing, the body language, the backdrop, all too perfect. Youngboy's fans claim it's proof their king is untouchable. Durk's camp calls it propaganda, a deliberate provocation. The streets call it entertainment with consequences. And the internet? The internet is eating it alive. Memes, theories, fake DMs, chaos has gone global. But beneath the smoke and retweets lies something darker. This isn't just another rap beef gone viral. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and the death of authenticity in a game that once prided itself on keeping it real. For years, the tension between NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk has simmered, from subliminal lyrics to real-world losses. And now, this new footage has ripped the lid off that pressure cooker once again. So here's the real question. Is this the return of a war that never ended, or the start of something far more dangerous? Stick around, because by the end of this breakdown, you'll see why this moment might just change the course of hip-hop forever. Like and subscribe, because this one's about to get messy. Broken brotherhood.
So what? What's the issue with you and Youngboy? Like, how did it start? Because there's a ton
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know. I don't know. What you do?
Let's rewind. Way before the viral clips, way before the blood-stained headlines, before loyalty became a trending topic. There was a time when names like NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk, and Lil Baby represented the new brotherhood of trap royalty. They were supposed to be the future, the sons of struggle turned millionaires. But as we all know, in the rap game, brothers turn to strangers the moment money and murder share the same sentence. Back in 2018, when Youngboy and Lil Durk dropped One Shot, it felt like destiny. The chemistry was undeniable. Two Southern titans aligning at the perfect moment. There was respect, mutual hunger, shared pain. Fans thought they were witnessing the start of a dynasty. But fast forward 2 years, and the smoke turned to fire. When King Von, Lil Durk's protege and blood brother in spirit, was shot and killed outside an Atlanta hookah lounge, neutrality died with him. The industry picked sides, and the invisible lines became barbed wire. Lil Baby chose Durk, publicly, proudly. He said it himself. If somebody dies, I'm picking a side. And that's where the fracture began. Youngboy, who wasn't even directly tied to Von's death, suddenly found himself isolated, branded as the villain of a war he didn't start. What followed was a domino effect. Canceled collabs, cold shoulders, and silent phone calls.
This him right here. Ask y'all Julie about this. This the little brother.
That's the part people forget. In hip-hop, friendship isn't broken by betrayal. It's broken by silence. And Baby's silence after Von's death said everything. To Youngboy, that was the ultimate sin. abandoning loyalty for optics. To the streets, it was the moment the brotherhood became business. Now, years later, the irony hits harder than an 808. Lil Baby, the same man who swore allegiance to Durk, is suddenly liking Youngboy's Instagram posts, subtly creeping back into the enemy's orbit. Coincidence? Or the industry's latest case of strategic amnesia? You tell me. Street politics.
Cool.
I think he's mad. I think there's two things that he thinks.
But you keep saying he.
Well, I mean, a lot is his perspective, right? Because it's a reason why recently he at you in a tweet.
No, you're right. Go ahead, because you know.
He's at you in a tweet. He's basically now
For what?
he basically says you're either number one scared of him or number two
Scared of who? Scared of who?
quote unquote using him for promo. Well, him.
Scared of who? For what?
NBA Youngboy.
What'd he do?
To understand this chaos, you have to understand the psychology of the streets, the unspoken laws that govern loyalty and revenge. See, in the world these rappers come from, neutrality doesn't exist. When blood gets spilled, lines get drawn. You ride for your people, even if it costs you everything. That's the street code. Simple, brutal, and unforgiving. When King Von died, the shock wasn't just emotional, it was political. Durk's camp viewed it as a declaration of war, even though Youngboy himself wasn't present. But guilt by association runs deep in hip-hop. Quando Rondo, a Youngboy affiliate, was involved, and that was enough. From that moment, Youngboy's name became synonymous with the tragedy, fair or not. Lil Baby saw the writing on the wall. Durk was on top, his OTF empire thriving, his name hotter than ever. Aligning with him was the safe bet, but that's the problem. When loyalty becomes strategic, it stops being loyalty. And while Baby was climbing charts, Youngboy was watching the same people who once called him brother act like he didn't exist. The tension only grew. Fans began noticing subliminals in lyrics, cryptic tweets, and even deleted posts. Youngboy's paranoia wasn't imagined, it was industry-wide. His collaborators started disappearing. Playlists quietly dropped him. Radio stopped spinning his records. And behind the scenes, word was that certain artists didn't want to choose violence by standing beside him. But Youngboy, he didn't fold. He recorded, he released, he raged. I Hate Youngboy wasn't just a song, it was a manifesto. He called everyone out. Lil Baby, Durk, Gucci Mane, the whole system that turned its back on him. It was the sound of a man excommunicated from an industry he once carried. That's why this new footage matters, because for the first time in years, it looks like the same people who left Youngboy in the cold are now creeping back, trying to shake his hand before the throne gets too far out of reach. Silent switches.
Listen,
The whole situation that happened with Quando.
how we live and how we go by our shit, and I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there. Shut the fuck up. You weren't there. So you made a diss and said something about Von. That's why I don't fuck with you. You ain't did shit. You did zero. In reality.
When Lil Durk was free, everyone was screaming OTF like it was a lifestyle. Rappers who had never set foot on Chicago soil suddenly became honorary members, throwing up hand signs they barely understood and shouting "smirk" like it was a baptismal chant. Collaborations were constant, merch lines were booming, and everyone wanted a piece of Durk's empire. Loyalty looked loud, flashy, and profitable. But now, with Durk allegedly fighting federal charges and the future of OTF hanging in limbo, the noise has stopped. The same rappers who couldn't stop tagging him are suddenly allergic to his name. And then there's Lil Baby, the perfect example of strategic silence. Once proudly declaring he'd pick a side, Baby's recent behavior screams indecision wrapped in PR caution. He's not shouting his loyalties anymore. He's liking Youngboy's posts instead, a small digital gesture, but in today's rap politics, an Instagram like is as bold as a diss track. No words, no interviews, no captions, just a tap that speaks louder than 1,000 lyrics. Fans noticed instantly. Screenshots flooded Twitter within minutes. "Not Baby spinning the block back to YB," one user posted. "He's switching faster than a Wi-Fi signal," another joked. And while the internet was laughing, the message was clear. Alliances in hip-hop aren't sealed in blood anymore. They're algorithmic. The same people who preach loyalty over everything are now treating friendship like it's trending content. What makes this moment even more chaotic is that Baby's not alone. Other artists, the ones who once threw subliminals at Youngboy or unfollowed him in solidarity with Durk, are suddenly quiet. Some are reposting YB's new releases, others casually dropping fire emojis under his freestyles. The collective memory of the internet may be long, but the collective backbone of the industry, paper thin. It's like watching a live history rewrite itself, one follow at a time. But Youngboy isn't fooled. His camp hasn't released a statement, but insiders say he's clocking every move. Every like, every silence, every apology wrapped in no beef energy. He knows who flipped when he was down and who's crawling back now that he's up. The streets have a name for it: opportunism. And in 2025, loyalty doesn't live in lyrics. It lives in engagement. One like, one share, one strategic silence at a time. Concert chaos at
Kids, my wife, my family.
I love that. I mean, DJ Academics is saying you and NBA Youngboy's beef is done. Is that true?
What beef?
Oh, so there's no beef.
Beef who?
NBA Youngboy.
Shut up, more while.
I love it. Can I get a drip check by any chance? I mean, you look so fresh. I'm sorry. You look so great. Is there any way? Okay.
Atlanta, 2025. The air was thick with anticipation and the kind of danger you can feel in your chest. Thousands packed into the arena, phones raised, lights flashing, voices chanting one name, Youngboy. For years, this city was known as Durk and Lil Baby's domain, but that night, the crown slipped. What once belonged to the industry's chosen suddenly felt like YB territory. The crowd didn't come for peace, they came for spectacle, and Youngboy was ready to give them exactly that. When the beat dropped for I Hate Youngboy, it was like a lightning strike. He didn't flinch, didn't soften, didn't censor. Every lyric was aimed like a weapon, every pause dripping with contempt. How you talking when nothing ain't died about your cousin them? The line sliced through the stadium, a verbal uppercut the entire audience understood. The crowd roared, half in shock, half in worship. Even through the speakers, you could feel it. That raw, unfiltered defiance that's made him both hated and unstoppable. This wasn't a performance, it was a declaration. Youngboy wasn't there to entertain, he was there to remind everyone that fear and fame don't coexist. I'm not hiding, his body language screamed. I'm not running, and I'm damn sure not bowing to anyone. Every gesture, every glance toward the camera felt calculated, as if he was reclaiming power the industry had tried to bury. In a city stitched together by alliances and rivalries, he was the intruder who walked in and rewrote the rules. Within minutes, the footage spread like wildfire. TikTok edits, slowed down crowd reactions, fan theories, the internet went into full-blown hysteria. Some called it legendary, others called it suicidal. But everyone agreed on one thing: it was historic. No artist had ever dared to stand in enemy territory and spit the very lyrics that sparked a war. Youngboy did it without flinching, without backup, without apology.
How are you, my young brother? We want to thank you and let you know that we see you, we appreciate you, not just for everything that you've done in the community, but for everything that you're about to do. We want you to know that we recognize the power that you possess and that you can assist us with helping our community eliminate gun violence in our schools.
And then came the silence, not from him, but from the ones who once called the city theirs. Lil Baby didn't post, didn't tweet, didn't even blink publicly, because what can you say when the man you counted out just stole your hometown spotlight? That concert wasn't just a show, it was a power shift. A coronation delivered in bass and bravado. The king didn't ask for permission, he just took the throne.
I'm slouching and couching, man, doing my 1-2 step. Y'all know how I do it. And I run across this. It says, fans just uncovered that Lil Baby unfollowed Lil Durk on Instagram after liking one of NBA Youngboy's posts. This is crazy as hell. Like, I don't even understand. Like,
industry betrayal. Behind the flashing lights and choreographed smiles lies the ugliest truth in hip-hop. Betrayal is just business now. The game that once preached loyalty and brotherhood has turned into a chessboard of survival, where every handshake hides a knife. Real recognize real? Please. These days, that's not a code. It's a catchphrase printed on overpriced merch. Lil Baby's quiet drift from Durk to Youngboy isn't just a storyline, it's a symptom. This is the new industry epidemic, strategic loyalty. Every alliance is calculated, every collab a silent peace treaty, every post a PR move. The same rappers who swear they'll never fold are the first to switch sides when the charts stop favoring their friends. They call it growth. The fans call it what it is: betrayal dressed in designer. Durk's downfall made it impossible to ignore. When he was free, everyone was orbiting him, calling him brother, twin, GOAT. He was hip-hop's gravity. But now, as he allegedly faces a federal case that could end everything, those same voices are vanishing faster than a deleted tweet. The calls? Stopped. The shoutouts? Gone. The OTF forever captions? Quietly deleted. Suddenly no one remembers those features, those backstage moments, those vows of loyalty. It's not friendship, it's self-preservation. And for Youngboy, this irony tastes like victory. The same system that blackballed him, labeled him toxic, and shut him out of playlists is now crawling back for collaboration. Executives want his name again. Artists want his cosign. Bloggers want his attention. But he's not the same boy who needed their approval. He's the storm they can't ignore. Betrayal? He's seen it too many times to care. At this point, it's not pain, it's fuel. Because here's the truth, in 2025, artists fear irrelevance more than they fear disloyalty. They'll switch sides mid-beef if it gets them a few viral tweets. They'll post vague, no-hate captions while plotting the next alliance. But what they forget, what they always forget, is that the fans are archivists. The internet never forgets. The streets remember. And when the smoke clears, only one thing really matters: who stood tall when it wasn't convenient.
But I'm looking at this and I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I understand Instagram a little bit. Y'all let me know in the comment section. But it say on Lil Durk behalf, it say Lil Baby. It just say follow, which means, okay, Schmirk unfollowed Durk. I don't understand why the hell Schmirk would be unfollowing anybody. He got bigger fish to fry. I'm talking about he gotta fry damn catfish straight out the ocean, bro. He need to worry about getting his freedom. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at Lil Baby page and it say Lil Durk, no user found.
In the end, Youngboy didn't just outlast the betrayal, he exposed it. He turned their silence into his spotlight. And in a business built on fake love, that's the most gangster move of all.
I think that because of that incident, which was very unfortunate at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, it's changed everybody's lives irreparably.
Yeah, that shit fucked everybody up. Like, when a real gangster, you know what I mean? When a real gangster get took out by like a nerd type.
Power reversal. For years, NBA Youngboy was the industry's favorite villain. The outcast, the dangerous one. The rapper too raw for radio and too real for brand deals. They blackballed him, silenced him, buried his name under headlines that read like obituaries for a career that refused to die. But here we are in 2025, and the plot has flipped harder than anyone expected. Lil Durk's once untouchable empire is collapsing under federal heat. Lil Baby's golden boy shine tarnishing in real time, and the man everyone swore was finished, Youngboy, is sitting on top, crown tilted, smirking at the irony of it all. It's poetic in a way only hip-hop could write. Part Shakespearean tragedy, part street prophecy. They exiled him, thinking they were ending his reign, but all they did was turn him into a legend. While labels, execs, and industry friends ghosted, his fan base went militant. The Why Be Better army never left. They streamed, defended, and amplified him like their lives depended on it. He didn't just survive the blackout, he built his own power grid. Now, the same system that tried to erase him is begging for his attention. Durk's silence speaks louder than a verse. Lil Baby's sudden caution online, that's fear disguised as professionalism. Even the mood in Atlanta has shifted. You can feel it in studios, backstage whispers, in the way artists choose their captions a little more carefully. The power dynamic isn't just changing, it already has. Youngboy's not fighting for a seat at the table anymore. He is the table, and everyone's quietly lining up to eat from it. That viral footage of him in Atlanta didn't just go viral because it was dramatic. It went viral because it was symbolic. One moment, one stage, and the entire industry had to acknowledge what they'd spent years denying. He's unstoppable. Every post he makes becomes a headline. Every silence becomes strategy. Every perceived misstep turns into a statement.
One picture, the boy double back and drop the song and say some dumb shit in it. I double back, I say Jason. I say little male bitch. Hey, and I'm still behind the mic, I go on that bitch like this, I say, yeah, but they gonna kill you. You better stop dancing now. Tell them niggas fucking behind me. I ain't talking shit when they down. I don't fuck with them. Brother got no 50 anything that they gon' fuck with. I love you, nigga.
And while others scheme, spin, and strategize, Youngboy keeps doing what made him unstoppable in the first place. Speaking truth with zero filter. No politics, no pandering, just raw conviction. That's not PR, that's prophecy. The villain they tried to bury became the hero the culture can't stop watching. And this time, he's not sharing the throne with anyone.
Y'all that ain't doing it, I'm sorry. NBA Youngboy is king right now, bro. It is what it is. He bigger than everybody. If he messes around and links up with like Kendrick Lamar or something like that, it's gonna be over.
When the smoke clears, this won't be remembered as just another rap beef or viral moment. It'll be remembered as the reckoning. The moment the glitter peeled off and everyone finally saw the rot underneath. Hip-hop's idea of loyalty has never looked more performative, more transactional, more hollow. The footage, the switch-ups, the sudden silences, it's all proof that in this era, authenticity isn't currency anymore. It's cosplay. Lil Baby's quiet pivot, Durk's public unraveling, Youngboy's roaring resurgence. Together, they form the cycle of fame and fast forward. Rise, betrayal, redemption, repeat. Every twin post, every real one caption, every onstage shout out now looks like evidence in a case against the culture itself. Fans are connecting dots, pulling receipts, replaying clips like detectives in an ongoing cultural crime scene. Because deep down, they already know the truth. The industry doesn't love loyalty, it loves convenience. Whoever's trending gets the love, whoever's down gets the silence. For the streets, this whole saga isn't just gossip, it's a mirror. It's a brutal reminder that in this game, fame is temporary, but perception is permanent. The message is clear. If your loyalty has a price tag, you were never built for the long run. The ones shouting real the loudest are often the first to fold when the cameras turn off. And that realization is shaking fans, artists, and executives alike. Meanwhile, Youngboy stands apart, not because he's perfect, but because he's consistent. He never begged for the industry's approval, never chased the crowd, never apologized for being exactly who he is. The kid from Baton Rouge, who was once labeled too toxic, has become the benchmark for resilience. The footage, the concert, the viral defiance, all of it builds a new narrative. You can't cancel what never asked to be invited.
When you stand on business, a lot of niggas don't like it, you feel me? Yeah. I remember at one point you had been locked down in my home. Man, these pussy niggas know I can't move around. They were popping it on me, huh? They were popping it.
This is the cultural fallout, the unmasking of fake alliances, the death of PR loyalty, the rebirth of raw honesty. Youngboy didn't just survive the smear campaigns, he turned them into strategy. He didn't just outlast the betrayal, he made it his storyline. And in doing so, he exposed an industry that preaches loyalty, but sells it to the highest bidder. Because when the fakes fold and the smoke fades, only one truth remains. Real always recognizes real. And Youngboy's reflection is the only one left standing. And there it is, a 30-second clip that exposed years of silence, betrayal, and shifting loyalties. In a world where every handshake is politics and every like is a declaration of war, one thing's clear. Youngboy isn't just surviving the chaos, he's orchestrating it. The footage, the fallout, the frenzy, all proof that loyalty in hip-hop is just another headline waiting to break. Subscribe to this channel and keep your notifications on, because if this was the calm, the real storm's still coming.